Hey, what's up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome to the American Horror Story Season 6, Episode 1 review. I remember the last time I did a review for American Horror Story, I believe it was like a random episode. I did a review for Episode 1 and 2, Season 5, and they actually did really good, so I figured, hey, why not do one for Season 6, right? Especially because this season the build-up to this season has been interesting and very much confusing because they don't really give you much. Actually, they gave you absolutely nothing. Because in previous seasons of American Horror, actually in previous seasons of almost any TV show, they gave you some sort of limelight on what the show is going to be about, like a synopsis or a summary, trailers, previews, interviews. They cast members come out and they say a bunch of things, that kind of stuff, but American Horror Story Season 6, we got none of that. We didn't get a summary, we didn't get a synopsis. No one said anything about what the show was going to be about. The creators of the show stayed quiet. The cast members of the show stayed quiet. We got absolutely no intel from anybody on what the show was going to be about. The closest thing we got to what the show was actually going to be about was from a picture taken by a TMZ member. Somehow that got leaked on the internet, and that's where we went from there. For the past few months, everyone's been trying to play the guessing game, oh my god, is it going to be American Horror Story camp, which I was rooting for. I was rooting for them for it to be a camp type feel to it. Is it going to be like American Horror Story swimming pool or American Horror Story church or something? It was a pretty weird trying to figure out. I wasn't any of these people who were devoting my whole entire day to try to figure out what the season's going to be about. But I was a little bit I was kind of skeptical because it's well, they're not saying anything. It's it made me more interested. They weren't saying anything, but it made me less interested because I went into it and I had no idea what I was getting into. I don't know if you guys had that feeling if you're watching the show or not, but I went into this and I was what exactly am I getting myself into? You have expectations because it's American Horror Story. You know what the act is about. You notice what the plot. You don't know the plot, but it's you know what it's centered around. So that's really the only thing you had going into this, is that it's American Horror Story. That's the only thing you knew going into this, and that's what I had going into this. So let's dive right into the season 6, episode 1. It's called Chapter 1. So there's no clear indicator, even in the name of the show, even in the name of the title, what it was going to be about. So we open up with a shot of Lily Rabe portraying a character named Shelby. And I don't really know his name, but he is a African-American actor. I'm going to just go say he's an African-American actor portraying a role as, I forgot the guy's name. But basically, it was working as a TV show, almost you were watching a TV show that was portraying another TV show. It was I don't want to say reality based TV show, but have you ever seen what's it called? Not Paranormal Activity, Ghostbusters, where there's they have camera shots of the people talking, and then they do the action, and that's basically what it was except it was a reenactment. So you had Lily Rabe actually doing commentary over the show. Not commentary, but but basically telling the events of what happened. And then you had Sarah Paulson, who was the actual person doing the action and all that kind of stuff. So you had Lily Rabe explaining a reenactment, and then you had Sarah Paulson doing everything. So that's how the show was going. It's so the first 4 characters were confirmed. First 4 cast members were confirmed there. It was Lily Rabe, Sarah Paulson, Cuba Gooding Jr. was the husband of Shelby. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. And the guy who was doing the reenactment for Shelby. So then we get to the very beginning of the show. And it starts with them explaining how everything was going good until one day dude got knocked out for no reason. That's how we started off. And I was quite shocked, not because the dude got knocked out in the beginning, but I was surprised because I was expecting a sex scene right from the very get-go. But surprisingly, there was no sex scene in the very beginning of the show. Because That seemed to be the running trend in American Horror Story. It was like, boom, sex scene. Here we go, right into that. We didn't get that, and I was actually actually made me kind of happy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh my god, it's a sex scene. Ugh. But American Horror Story has a bad habit of going over the top and putting a little bit too much sex in the show, and it kind of annoys me. But they actually did a good job in this episode toning it down and not doing it as much. So, thumbs up for that. But the guy got knocked out, and then they go to the hospital. We see Shelby and I still can't remember the husband's name. This is so sad. I'm terrible at this. So we see Shelby in the hospital because her husband got knocked out, and he's like all hooked up to an IV and everything. I'm like, he got punched in the face. It's like, I don't understand why he's but whatever. So he's all in the ICU, and everything's okay. There's nothing to worry about. Everything's okay. They get released. We then fast forward to, and now we're still doing, mind you, throughout the whole entire show, they're doing the actions. You have Sarah Paulson and Cuba Gooding Jr. They're doing the actions, but throughout you have Lily Rabe. They're giving the intel on what happened. They're giving the not the synopsis, but the summary of the moments of the day of what's happening. If you guys watch reality TV shows, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was basically what was happening. So jump cut to Shelby and her husband. They find a house, a 3-story house with 3 stories. I don't know if you count the basement as a story or not. I don't think you do. So a 2-story house with a basement, 3 bedrooms, and in the middle of the woods, no less. I don't understand how we bought a house in the middle of the woods and no one grew any suspicion about this at all. But hey, they saw a good house and they're like, well, the dude wanted to move out south. Shelby wanted to stay in LA, but he wanted to move like a countryside. So he's like, all right, I see a nice house. It's big. Let's buy it. Let's start fresh, start new, you know? Now, mind you, this is set in the 1779. Is it set in 1779? No, it's not set in 1779. We don't even know what time period it's even really set in. We just know that the house is built in 1779. So, mind you, this was at a time where blacks and whites were still integrated. I mean, not integrated, segregated. So, you know, you had a interracial couple. So, you know, that might have caused issues in time, and that kind of played into the episode a little bit. So they were buying the house, but the only way they could buy the house was via auction. So it was between Shelby, her husband, and like a gang of like hillbill. I don't want to stereotype here, but I wanted to say like very rancid looking hillbillies, I guess. So they were bidding, and of course, Shelby and her husband got the highest bid, so they got the house. And the hillbillies, they looked pretty pissed about it. So they went on about their day. They got the house. Yay, woohoo! We got to a jump cut of someone viewing them from the trees, and then you see like someone behind the tree, but like in camouflage to blend in with the tree. I'm like, that's smart. And then you just see American Horror Story pop up, like boom. And they don't show you they show you American Horror Story, but they don't give you a proper main title sequence at all. They don't even give you a name of the title with the American Horror Story or anything. It's like just American Horror Story, and that's it. It's like, So we start not getting anything about it. So it's like we're still getting bits and pieces, but we're not getting the whole entire story yet. Whatever. So we get on with the rest of the show, and I can go on all day about what the show was about, but basically it was just Shelby's in the house while her husband is away, and all these events just keep on happening to her. Like she was home alone, and it started raining teeth. The husband got home and the teeth were gone. Said it was just raining hail, so it looks like she's just hallucinating. Then again, before this even happened, there was a sex scene. I can't add that out. And while they were having sex, there was a part where they heard noises. So the husband went to go check it out. Someone threw something at him when he went outside and went back inside. They assumed it was the hillbillies. But once again, we're going to fast forward back to where I was. So basically, raining teeth. Husband comes home. He's like, well, it was just raining hail. Maybe you're just like crazy. He didn't say that. So, there was also a part when it was, I believe she was in a hot tub outside because they have a hot tub. It was like a hot tub and no jets. It was so weird. So it was she was in a hot tub, and apparently she was just chilling, and then she was getting drowned by a bunch of people who dressed up like they were dressed up like pilgrims. And I was like, oh, interesting. So she called her husband, called the police this time. Smart enough. She called both of them. The police showed up. She was in the house, curdled up, like all shaking and whatnot, because she's been traumatized. So, and the police said there was no tracks of any fingerprints, no footprints, and she said there was torches there, like it was pilgrims with torches and pitchforks. She said there was no pitchforks, there was no torches, like nothing was there, like there was no evidence that anyone was there to drown you. So, don't know what's going on right there, but you might want to check up on that. So the dude basically all but called her crazy. I mean, the cop didn't say to her, he was talking to her husband. So the cop basically all but told her husband that she's like crazy. So husband goes to go check on her, and he's like supporting her, but you could tell he's like, he doesn't believe what she's saying. He's just there to like, yeah, pat you on the back, like, yeah, I know. I bet you did see them, honey. I bet you did see them. So she's like, you don't believe me, and then he's like, I love you. So we get on with the rest of the episode. So then we get into the part where he decided to buy equipment that he set up in his house. Not in the house. He set it up near the house. So basically, he set up like cameras that would stream to his phone. Now here's the thing: they streamed it to his cell phone, which was a Android or an iPhone, which tells me that this is set in present day. But they moved into a house that was built in 1779, which is just like an odd choice for me. If it's set in present day and they moved out all the way out in the woods and that, it's like I wouldn't even have done that. So you can tell by looking at the phones, you can tell it was set in present day, and the fact that it's a TV show, obviously. So he set it up so that way it could stream from his phone just in case anything happens again. Because at this point, it's like, well, you're saying these things are happening, but I'm not seeing these or hearing these things happen. You're saying they're happening, so let me see if there is any proof that it is happening. So we basically just said, oh, I don't believe you, but I'm going to set up equipment just in case you are telling the truth, even though I don't think you are telling the truth. You know what I mean? So he also invites his sister to come stay with Shelby because she needs protection. Because, why not? So Shelby is being portrayed by Angela Bassett. And the person that is reenacting Angela Bassett's character, Shelby, is another person who I am unfamiliar with. So I am so sorry if you are looking for certain names. I cannot give you that name to person. So Shelby comes, and her story is shown about how she was a dejected police officer because she was shot on the job and started taking painkillers for the pain. But that led to her getting addicted to painkillers, which got her fired. So now she's unemployed, basically. So Shelby's sister comes in to stay with, not stay with her, but like stay with her throughout the night, comes in to stay with Shelby. And they go on quite the journey because they are in the house. Everything seems to be fine at the time. Of course, there was a scene where Shelby was chopping up some carrots, went to go check on a noise, came back, the knife was going in the meat. Then jump scare, but it was the dude's sister. So my God, close jumps. There were a lot of jump scares in this show. I'm going to get to that near the end of the show about how I thought that show was. I'll get to that later on. So lots of is this really happening? Questioning what's happening during this episode. There was a part where the dude's sister was sleeping in the bedroom, and then the door to the bedroom opened, and a bottle rolled in the room because previously she asked her not to drink around her because she's trying to keep sober. So a bottle rolls in the room, and she immediately assumes it's Shelby. It's like, why would you roll a bottle in the room? I told you don't roll a bottle in the room. I told you I'm trying to stay sober. all this type of stuff, and she's getting all angry, and then she's like, I didn't roll bottle into the room. So then the dude, he gets a notification that there's the sensors from the cameras are triggered, and there are people walking up to the house dressed up like pilgrims, dressed up like they're from the 1770s. And he's like, oh shit, let me get to the house. So he's on his way to the house, and while this is happening, they end up, they're not under attack, but they are now aware that there are people coming to the house, and they go to hide in the basement. Before they go to hide in the basement, they do realize that there's someone possibly in the house, so they go to scope it out. Of course, Shelby's the one that's all like scared or whatnot, and her sister, and the sister's like trying to be all brave. Of course, she has to be brave. She was a former police officer. How can you not be brave after seeing all that kind of stuff? So they go investigate, and they don't find anything. They go to the basement where they're hearing the noise, and they find a TV that is on for no apparent reason. And the TV is playing a video of a man who is been abducted, I guess, by people in pig masks. And it really didn't show for that long of a time, so you really couldn't get a grasp of what was going on. But you were able to tell that it was basically pretty much the starting of a snuff film. And before they could really react to it, the power in the house was completely cut out. TV cut out, lights cut out, everything in the house cut out. And they're pretty much stuck in the darkness, and the dude's on his way. He's not even at the house yet, so he's on his way home, trying to rush home, making sure like everything's okay. So now they are just freaking out, like, okay, well, what's going on now? So they get a flashlight, they go upstairs and they check, and they walking to the walking area of the entrance to the house, and they see a bunch of crosses made out of, I want to say, hay or some type of material that looks like hay and wood, all made into crosses and scarecrows. And the question is, how did anyone do this that quickly? Because it was literally all over the entrance area of the house, like literally everywhere. So it's like, how can these people do this that quickly? So they go investigate. By the time they're about to finish investigating, the husband comes home, and he's like, well, what's going on? And then Shelby's trying to explain, like, there are people trying to attack us and all this kind of stuff. And now she's like, I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore, which is a smart move. Actually, was a dumb move, because as soon as I saw hail, as soon as I see teeth raining, I don't care how much that house cost, I would have dropped my stuff, I would have hopped in the car, I would have moved in with my parents again. I was not going back to the house. The ghost could have the house. I ain't staying there. So, this is me. I don't know what you guys, I'm not fighting for my house. If I see ghosts, they can have the house. They can have everything inside of it. So she's like, I want to move out. I don't want to be here anymore. This is getting too scary. This is getting too overwhelming. And the dude's not here to experience anything. And every time he is here, there's nothing really happens. So he's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And she's like, no, it's not going to be okay. You don't understand. You don't listen to me. And so she leaves. She gets in her car. She leaves. Heads out. Bumps into stuff. I look down for a second. I look up and she hits something or somebody. I think it was an old woman. And I was like, she gets out of her car to help up the woman. The old woman starts leading her to the woods. And Shelby was stupid enough to follow her into the woods. 50 feet into the woods, like that, to the point where she got lost and could not find her way back. Poor Shelby. So now Shelby's lost in the woods. She stumbles and falls like a stupid white girl in a horror movie. She falls on the ground, notices the ground looks like it's breathing. The ground is pumping up and down like it is literally a breathing entity. At this point, I'm like, what is going on? So Shelby gets up. She heads in the other direction because she's smart. And she's in a crossroad. There's nowhere to go. She doesn't know where to go. Then she stumbles across pilgrims. More pilgrims with pitchforks and torches. And we do get a glimpse at one of the pilgrims, which I believe, if I am correct, the actor's name is, I don't want to get this wrong. I feel like it's I don't think it's Wes Bentley. It has to start. I think it starts with Donovan. What's it? What's the name of the guy who starts with? I think his name's like Donovan something. I'll look this up because it's gonna hurt my soul if I don't. No, it's not Donovan. That's from season 5. Oh my god, I don't know. He played Edward Mordrake on season 4. Like I literally can't remember the name of this guy right now. This is crazy. This is lunacy. Let me look at the cast so that way I can like, you know, bring it up. It's not Wes Bentley. It can't be Wes Bentley because he's the other guy. It's not Matt Bomber or Cheyenne Jackson. Wait, is it Wes Bentley? Can't be Wes Bentley. No, never mind. It is Wes Bentley. I had it right the whole time. Was denying it. Yeah, it's Wes Bentley. So Wes Bentley is the guy who was one of the Pilgrims. And the Shelby starts screaming, and then the show ends. So even then, they give you one full episode, and they still give you nothing. And it's like, I want to keep watching because I want to figure out what the season's about because I'm left with really not much information that I had when I begun to see. It's like they give you characters, they give you somewhat of a plot. But at the end of the day, you're still left puzzled. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, is the house haunted? Like, if you go in and you don't look up the word Roanoke and you don't know, you don't like look into it. Because I took history class. I already knew about what this whole Roanoke thing and the Croatoan and whatnot. Some people don't know about what that is about. But if you don't look into what Roanoke means, because the name of the show that was being portrayed was called Roanoke Nightmare. So if you don't know what a Roanoke is and you're going into this blindfolded as almost every single person who's watching this show was, you're left with almost nothing. It's like, okay, it seems like a horror movie that I had no intel about, that I had no idea who was going to be in it. Someone dragged me to this because God knows why. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, this is a good, but I still don't get it. At the end of the day, I'm like, it's. I can't really say it's bad because it's just the beginning, but it's like I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. Comment down below. This is just me. It's you guys. You guys. I know there's a few people watching right now, and if two other people watching, hello. If you never seen my channel before, make sure you subscribe and like this video, so that way I know to do more. We'll do some discussions if you guys want to. But it's just so weird. It's like, I get kind of the premise. It's like you have this couple, they move into a house, which is a cliche actually in horror movies. This couple that moves into this house, the house seems to be haunted, and everything seems to be going wrong. It's like the wife sees things, but the husband doesn't. It's a cliche of like a bunch of movies I've seen already, which is one thing I don't like about it. This is a cliche about 100 billion horror movies I have seen or heard about. So that was kind of a turn off from the very get-go, but I didn't want to just be immediately turned off to it because it's like I gotta give it a chance. It's literally just episode 1. So I watched it throughout, and at the end, I'm still left confused. We don't know what the name of this colony is. We barely know. We only know like 4 people. I guess this is one of those shows where you got to see the characters develop in order to relate. It's like you can't really relate to anything. You don't know anything. It's frustrating. It's kind of frustrating to me because it's like I don't know any. I'm one of those people where it's like I want to know what I'm getting into before I go into the situation so that I can suss it, so that way I can. I don't. Sometimes most of the times I like to improvise so I can assess the situation. If I need to improvise, I'll improvise. If I need to plan it out, I'll plan it out. Like I like surprises, but in this situation, I don't like the surprise because it's like I still don't know what's going on. Like I don't want to keep on reiterating what I'm saying, but it's like it's so puzzling. I get it. They have a lot of great actors in it. They have Lily Rabe, and I'm so happy Lily Rabe is in it. But it's like she's portraying a character. She's doing commentary. She's doing a voiceover. So it's like they could be using her for another character other than voiceover because Lily Rabe is not a character. And it's like we just got introduced to a character. We just got introduced to Russ Bentley's character that we have no idea what his character's going to be about. We just know he's a pilgrim that's abducted or taken Shelby. And at the end of the show, we didn't get a preview for next week's episode. We're just left puzzled. Like, if anyone can really break down this show right now, I would be obliged to read your comments and do video. But right now, I am not understanding this show. Season 4 of American Horror Story, I got the plot, I understood it. Freak show, you got the title, you got the characters, easy to follow. Was it the best season? No. Season 5, you got the characters, you got the plot. You somewhat got the plot. The plot was still a little bit confusing. Was it the best season? I would say season 5 was probably the worst season because it's like it really didn't have a plot. It had a plot, but it didn't have a plot. Season 6, you're given none of that, and you're given nothing unless you look for spoilers, you look for leaks, and you're still left puzzled at the end of it, and it's kind of unsatisfying to me. So I wouldn't really rate this anything. I would get, if I had to rate it, I would give it like a 5 out of 10 because I can't really say much. I'm still confused by this show. This is sad because it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna watch next week's episode so that way I can. That's the thing. It's like they want you to keep watching, so they're going to leave you puzzles so that way you got to keep watching, so that way you got to keep figuring it out, so that way you got to keep puzzling it together. I get their strategy. I do. I get their strategy, but I don't know. Being puzzled at the end of a show just leaves me unsatisfied. So, for whoever's still here and from the very beginning, if you just got here, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment down below. What are your opinions on the first episode? If you haven't seen the first episode, what are your opinions on this review? What did you think about it? And let me know what your predictions are for the show. And make sure you hit that like. I said hit that like button already, but make sure you comment down below because I like to read the comments, guys. I love to read the comments. I like to interact with you guys. So thank you guys for watching this video. When I see the preview for the show, I might be able to do a reaction to that. There's still no main title sequence. There really isn't an outro. They really didn't give you much here. They gave you a plate with only a little bit of food on it. They expected you to eat it. And if you come back for seconds, they're going to give you a little bit more, and a little bit more, but they're not going to fully fill up your plate. That's basically American Horror Story Season 6 right now. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'm not going to say it again. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.